Hello my forevers! In today's video I'm going to be teaching you different ways to make these stunning little sinks in your dorm. Of course they're not functional, they're mainly just for decoration, but if you like to roleplay or you just want a realistic-ish looking dorm, this would be perfect for you. There are many different ways to build a sink. You can make one with running water, without running water, with like bubbly water, etc, etc, etc. So I'm going to be teaching you how to make those today. You can use them in bathrooms or kitchens or anything else you're building. Maybe like a little cafe. I don't know. So if you want to see that, make sure to stick around. Okay, so first things first, you want to figure out where you want the sink to be, right? So let's say you were going to build it in your kitchen or in a bathroom, right? You would have to have a little, like a little counter, right? So if you're doing it in your kitchen, I recommend using nightstands as like your countertops. So let's say I was going to put my sink right here, right? Also, when you're building your kitchen, I recommend using the back of the nightstand. Unless you want drawers, then I would recommend using the front of the nightstand. So for this video, we're going to be using the front of the nightstand. Depending on how big you want your sink to be, you would want to add multiple nightstands or like, you know, counters. So let's say this is my counter for my kitchen sink, okay? So what most people do is they take one of these decorative wall panelings, right? And then you place it down and you resize it, or you choose the toggle number 2, right? And then if you have the resize tool, of course, you can make it smaller so it fits on the nightstands. That way it doesn't, like, you know, hang over. So I'm going to resize mine just a bit. That way it doesn't hang over, kind of like this. Let's move it sort of towards the middle, like this, right? That way, you know, you can, you know, it works. What I like to do for my kitchen sinks is I like my kitchen counters, I like to resize them a bit bigger. That way I'm not taller than them, which for some reason has been happening a lot. Alright, let me grab this and move it up a bit, just like this. So it can go two ways, right? You can either add poster paper by yourself, or you can find a toggle with poster paper in it. The one with poster paper in it is toggle 15. The one without is toggle 2. So I'm going to choose toggle 15, right? And then we're going to color everything later, so don't worry about that. For the little faucet, we are going to use the Elegant Swan Swirly Decor handle. You're going to kind of place it down like this, and then use these arrow keys to kind of move it back a bit, like this, kind of, you know, make this part stick out a little bit. You can resize it to be a bit smaller. That's what I like to do, like this. And then you can use either of these arrows to make it kind of dip down like a faucet. And then of course you're gonna have to move it forward a bit, like this. Perfect, right? Just like that. And then if you want handles like cold and hot, I recommend using these handles, crystal diamond handles, and then you would just place them right next to them. Of course you can resize it to be a bit smaller, and then you are going to make them stick up like this. So let's do that same thing on the other side, and then we can start coloring and making it look like an actual kitchen sink. So let's move it up a bit, and then perfect. All right. So if you wanted to have running water, I would grab a colored pencil and then kind of angle your camera underneath the sink and then try to place the colored pencil as close as possible. Maybe what I would rather do is actually place it down, toggle it to toggle 2, and then press this little lock thing. That way when you move it around, it doesn't, you know, change the way it's sitting. And then try your best to get it where you know, like the tip of the handle is. Sometimes it doesn't work. You're gonna have to do something like this. But then once you get it towards the middle, you're going to move it down until you can't see like this part. Until you can't see this part right here, right? And then you can like change it a bit. So that makes it look like running water, okay? And then if you want to make it look, I don't know, maybe bubbly or like you're actively using it, I would grab this. It's called the Personal Snow Flurry. If you have been doing the advent calendar, you might have gotten it as a duplicate. Kind of just move it down and look, it kind of looks like the water is, you know, actively moving, you know? All right, time to color. So for coloring, press the decorative wall molding, or if you have the poster paper, tap the poster paper. You can color the molding anything you want, anything like a typical kitchen sink. And for the center is where it gets kind of fun, all right? So the water texture that I like to use is by Sakura. You kind of just search up Sakura and then you scroll down just a bit and then you will find these 3 colors. I like to do this one because it looks the most like actual water, but if you like to be a little bit more mystical with it, you can choose any other color. And then you will go ahead and press the Personal Snow Flurry and color it to match the water. You can kind of change it up a bit. You can make it like, you know, white, like mist, kind of like this, like a little misty. And then for the colored pencil, sometimes you won't be able to click directly on it. So to do that, all you have to do is press Lost and Found Furniture, search up colored pencil, and then click it, and then color it the same as the water. Just like this. If I can find the water texture. There it is. Perfect. Just like that, and it looks just like running water. And then for the handles, you can keep one to be blue for cold, and then another one to be red for hot. So let's go ahead and color it red for the hot toggle. Perfect. And that is how you build a typical little kitchen sink. Let's say for your bathroom or for your kitchen, you want something more of a round sink. So there are actually 2 ways that you can go about this. So of course, first let's put down some nightstands. That way we can use that as a little base for where we're putting our sink. Let me place those down really quickly and then I will show you how to build a round sink. So, if you played during the Royale event, whoa, why did I move it down? If you played during the Royale event and you bought a couple of Royale candy bowls, you could use those as the round bowl for the sink. It would be toggle 3. You can size it up or size it down. I would size mine up and then kind of move it down so you don't see that little part kind of go like this. Or you can move it even further down like this. That way it's not like a literal bowl coming out of the nightstand or the counter, right? So now that you have your bowl like this, you can go ahead and find plate, Precious Tea plate. All you have to do is just search up plate and it will come up. Place down the plate, toggle it to toggle 2, and then use either of these, you can't see it, either of these specific arrow keys to flip the plate over. Once you don't see the plate anymore, go ahead and press up until you see it, and then resize it, that way it fits the bowl just like this. And then, same thing, you're going to grab the Elegant Swan swirly decor handle, place it down, turn it, resize it, just like that, and then tilt it, that way the faucet is facing down like this, and then you can go ahead and shift it around whichever way you want it to show up over your sink. You can add handles to this if you want to, and for those handles, you would actually place them kind of like on the swirly decor, like this, and of course you would have to resize it, that way it doesn't look like it's going into the wall, and move it into the swirly swan decor handle, like this. Or you can lock it, pick it up, and kind of move it around the way you'd like. Just like that. You're gonna do the same thing to the other side, just like this. What toggle is this? Toggle 11. Alright. Toggle 11, move it in, just like that. And of course you can do the same thing as the kitchen sink where you put the Personal Snow Flurry in there or the colored pencil to make it look like running water, but some people don't want to do that, and that's okay. So for the plate, you're going to color that the same. You're going to color that as water. So I like to search up Sakura for the water. And then for the bowl, you can color it absolutely anything. I'm going to make mine white. And then the faucet, it doesn't really matter what you color it. It really doesn't. And then for the handles, you can keep one blue for cold and then another red for hot. Just like this. Perfect. Another option, if you want to make a round sink but you did not buy the candy bowl, all you have to do is just search up tea, and then once you find this precious teacup, go ahead and place it down. Find a toggle where there is no plate and there is no drink inside. It is toggle 6. Flip it so that the handle is facing away from you where the faucet would be, and then resize it to the size that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of place it downwards. That way it's not like a full bowl sticking out of the nightstands or the countertop, whatever you choose to use as your countertop. All right, now that you have that, do the same thing that I just showed you for the Royale Ween candy bowl. You're gonna grab a precious tea plate, toggle it to toggle 2, and then flip it over. Once you don't see it anymore, move it up. And then you can move it up as high as you want. You can make it full with water, or you can make it just a little bit full with water, you know, half empty. Color it to a specific water texture. It really doesn't matter what color you use. I know some people like to make mystical dorms, so you can do that if you want. Then we're going to get the swan swirly decor, place it down. I have to place it down on the countertop since I can't put it on the window. Then you're gonna make it so the faucet is kind of facing down. I'm gonna make mine a bit smaller, just like this, and then we are going to put it here, just like this. Okay, I have to like completely redo that, but it's okay. All right, so first we have to move it so it is like this, flip it upwards like this, and then tilt it downwards, just like this. You can move it up a bit, just like that. And then the same thing, you put the handles on the side of the little faucet, just like this. It's super easy once you get the hang of it, and then it becomes muscle memory, just like that. And of course, move them in together, that way they're not completely sticking out. Okay, I have to reclaim my dorm. Be right back. All right, now we can color the sink. I'm gonna do a basic white, and same thing with the faucet. And of course, for the handles, you can keep one cold and one hot. Unless you don't want to specify which handle is what, you can color them any color you want. That is it for this video. Comment down below any other build hacks That is it for this video. Comment down below any other build hacks that you would like to see on my page. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you at one of my other videos. Goodbye, my forevers!